Hello, guys, and welcome to Football Fandom UK. So we're doing another live stream. It's a Saturday. There's loads of football to cover, so we'll be keeping an eye on all the games around the grounds, guys. But we are here today to particularly keep an eye on Blackburn v Norwich City. Sorry, Sheffield United v Norwich City. Um, Forgive me for getting that wrong. I've been looking at a lot of football matches the last 24 hours. So yeah, guys. But as you can see, we're doing a live stream. As I told you guys, we will be stepping up the intensity with regards to Fandom, doing more streams, more videos, and more shorts to basically get the channel out there more and get more fans to know about what we're doing with the project. So, guys, I want to hear from you. Leave your comments in the chat if you're coming on to get involved. Want to hear what you guys have got to say about any of today's games, guys. You don't have to just talk about this game, Sheffield v Norwich. Be interested to see what our views are like today, because this is the first time I think that I've done a proper 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday. I've avoided it up till now just simply because there's so much football on a Saturday afternoon. It's kind of guessing which get whether am I going to make any kind of impact with us still being quite a new channel. So yeah, guys, like I say, drop your comments in the chat and let me know your thoughts on any of today's games. Like I say, we're keeping an eye on the Sheffield v Norwich game, but we'll be also going around the grounds, keeping an eye on the other games around the UK. So, guys, I'm just gonna quickly run over what games we've got going on today for the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Now, we had a shocker in the Premier League at dinner time kickoff. Obviously, Nottingham Forest beating Liverpool 1-0. That's a bit of a shocker. So I'm sure Liverpool fans are going to have a lot to say about that, and I'm sure Nottingham Forest fans are literally over the moon. So yeah, just a quick run through what games we've got today, guys. This afternoon we have in the Premier League we have Everton v Crystal Palace, Manchester City v Brighton, Chelsea v Manchester United, Wolves v Leicester, Aston Villa v Brentford, which is sorry, my apologies, guys. We've only I'm shocked. Sorry, I'm reading it wrong. We've only got three Premier League games this afternoon. Everton, Crystal Palace, Man City v Brighton, 3 o'clock kickoffs, and Chelsea v Manchester United, which is a tea time kickoff. Obviously, pretty much a full schedule in the Championship. We've got obviously the earlier kickoff, which finished Blackpool 4, Preston 2, which is a big derby game there. So a big win for Blackpool against their local rivals, and then for the 3 o'clock kickoffs, we have Sunderland v Burnley, Middlesbrough v Huddersfield, Sheffield United v Norwich is obviously the game we're going to be keeping a close eye on. Rotherham v Hull, Stoke City v Coventry. Big 3 points the other day for Coventry, so I'm sure they're going to be looking to build on that. Millwall v West Brom, Reading v Bristol City, Blackburn Rovers v Birmingham, QPR v Wigan Athletic. They're all the 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Championship. In League One, we had an earlier game kickoff, Lincoln City v Sheffield Wednesday, which finished 1-1. And then the 3 o'clock kickoffs, guys, we've got Cambridge United v Port Vale, Bristol Rovers v Plymouth Argyle, Morecambe v Barnsley, Forest Green v Portsmouth, Oxford United v Peterborough, Shrewsbury v Charlton, Exeter v Fleetwood, Accrington Stanley v Bolton, big derby game for my club today. Burton v Cheltenham, and MK Dons v Wickham. In League Two, guys, full schedule again. All 3 o'clock kickoffs. Stevenage v Northampton Town, Grimsby Town v Bradford City, Crewe Alexandra v Doncaster, Harrogate Town v Tranmere, Carlisle v Leyton Orient, Gillingham v Barrow, Salford City v Stockport, which is obviously another local derby, so that's we'll keep an eye on that one. Newport County v Colchester, Rochdale v Wimbledon, Swindon Town v Hartlepool, Crawley Town v Mansfield Town, and Sutton United v Walsall. And quickly in the Scottish Premiership, we have the earlier kickoff, which finished Hearts 3, Celtic 4. And then the 3 o'clock kickoffs today in the Scottish Premiership are Kilmarnock v Ross County, Motherwell v Aberdeen, Rangers v Livingston, St Mirren v Dundee United. We also got games in the Scottish Championship that we'll keep an eye on. There's only 5 games for the 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Scottish Championship. Inverness v Wraith Rovers, Dundee v Greenock Morton, Arbroath v Hamilton, and Ayr v Cove Rangers, as well as Partick Thistle v Queen's Park Rangers. And obviously, Partick Thistle losing the other day will probably be looking to bounce right back. So that's a quick roundup of what games there is this afternoon. Obviously, a lot of games to cover, guys. We'll keep an eye on them. The game between that we're watching, Sheffield United v Norwich, just kicked off, guys. 0-0, just over 2 minutes in. So we'll keep you posted on that, guys. Don't forget, if you could, guys, hit that like button and drop your comments in the show. The reason we do these live streams is to talk general football and involve you guys in the chat. So hopefully we will have some fans come and get involved today in this live stream. But yeah, like I say, guys, lots of football to cover. So I'm just going to obviously try and absorb some of this game, guys, because there's been a lot of games I've been doing these live streams, and the chat's been quite busy, and it's limited how much I've been able to actually watch the game. So obviously, while the chat is quiet, we'll take take full advantage of me being able to actually absorb what's going on in the game, to help me improve as a commentator, if anything. And we've got a goal already, guys. We've got a goal. That looked a bit of an unusual. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but definitely something unusual happened there. It didn't seem like a run in the mill counter attack goal. Just waiting for the But yeah, Norwich 1-0 up, guys. 3 minutes in, and Norwich have gone 1-0 up. I'm just bear with me a second. I'll tell you exactly what happened, because it happened pretty quick, that. So Norwich long ball down the field. No danger. Blades defender kicks it to the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper gets himself in all kinds of trouble as he's being closed down by a Norwich player. And as he goes to clear it, it bounces off the leg of the Norwich player that's closing him down and straight into the net, guys. That is a very unusual goal, but you know, that I suppose that just highlights what I keep saying about these this playing about at the back. I mean, that really doesn't count as it, but you know, sometimes why players are passing it back to goalkeepers and defenders and stuff. Just get it forward. If if it's not time to react and pass it about, if you're in the clear and there's no opposition players around you, then it's understandable. You might play it about at the back between the defenders and the goalkeeper. But when you're being pressed, especially in the early stages of the game, when you're feeling each other out, then these teams should be, especially in the lower leagues, Championship, League One, just clear the ball. Just clear the ball. It's absolute madness where they're trying to tap it about and pass it around. It's crazy. Absolute madness. So, yeah, Norwich early goal, 4 minutes in, guys. Uh, so there's a goal gone in, obviously, for Norwich. So I 1-0 up. just quickly looking over so I don't have to read through all the results, guys, because I will give you updates on all the results as we go through the afternoon. But obviously, I would be looking to just pick out some that are actually showing that they're getting goals scored in the game. So early goal in Scotland, guys. Livingston gone 1-0 up against Rangers. So early goal up there in Scotland at Ibrox. We also got an early goal, a couple of early goals in League Two. Um, Crawley Town have gone 1-0 up against Mansfield. Nottingham Forest 1-0 up against Stevenage. And Leighton Orient 1-0 up against Carlisle. Nothing to report just yet in League One, guys. So yeah, a couple of early goals already, guys, in a couple of the games. So yeah, like I say, guys, we're going around the grounds and see how we see what happens. Hopefully, some big goals will be scored today. Lots, obviously, lots of football going on, and I want to hear from you guys. Drop your comments in the chat. Links in the channel in the description, guys. You are more than welcome to come on and join me as well if you like to. And like I say, if you could also hit that like button, it will be very helpful, guys. Um, as you can see, the link is there in the description if you want to join me on the channel. But that's up to you guys. I know obviously not a lot of people are comfortable coming on camera. But if you're passionate like me and you want to have your opinion heard, the only way you get comfortable with being on camera is trying it. So 8 minutes in, guys, and it's still 1-0 to Norwich. Sheffield obviously trying to get some possession and make some things happen, but they put themselves on the back foot now at home. Obviously, going 1-0 down so early on gives Norwich something to hang on to really early. Another opportunity into the box, kind of wasted from Sheffield. Norwich moving forward, passing it out down the left hand side. They're trying to make something happen. A bit scrappy at the minute, guys, as you can expect. Early stages, we're only 8 minutes in, so it's a bit scrappy. But and I think Sheffield United obviously wanting to get something going, but I think they're also pushing to get themselves in the game. But I think they're a bit shell shocked with this such an early goal. And obviously, it's definitely give Norwich the impetus to compete. So yeah. Um, Stephen Allen, I see your team playing Akron today. Is that classed as a derby? Yeah, yeah, it is, mate. Yeah, that's a derby. Big derby game for both. Well, I'd say big derby game. It is at a big derby game at the minute. Obviously, with Bolton playing in the lower leagues. But for me, I would prefer, obviously, that Bolton's considered derbies, more serious derbies, are so you know some of our more prestigious rivals, you might say. But we've had to have some humble pie off Accrington in the last couple of seasons while Bolton's been going through the rebuild stage after the troubles with the owner. So, we have to give them the respect they deserve, even though they are local rivals. But yeah, I will be keeping an eye on that one today, guys, and hoping that Bolton don't mess about today and get the job done. Because with all respect to Accrington, Bolton shouldn't be struggling against a club that you know uh, don't even fit half of the capacity in their stadium what Bolton do. So yeah, hopefully, like I say, be Bolton get the job done. But thanks for that, Stevie. Appreciated, mate. So corner for Sheffield, guys. It's deep at the back and headed straight out for another corner, I think. Yeah, love another corner. Just hearing that apparently Norwich have not been very good on set pieces this season, so I'm not sure. I can't commentate myself on that fairly because I haven't watched enough of them to judge that. But apparently that it's showing in their stats that they've not been great on set pieces so far this season. So maybe that'll be something that'll have an impact on the game from a Sheffield United point of view. So another corner coming in for Sheffield. Headed clear. Norwich moving the ball out. Oh, it's a beautiful ball right up the pitch. No long ball, guys. Just a beautiful pass right down the right hand side. But unfortunately, he's run straight into traffic to Sheffield defenders, closing him down and giving him no room to do anything with that, guys. So, guys, just quickly go around the games. We have Everton have gone 1-0 up against Crystal Palace. So it's Everton 1, Crystal Palace 0. No goals to report yet. Manchester City v Brighton. In the Championship, 0-0 Sunderland Burnley, 0-0 Middlesbrough Huddersfield. Obviously 1-0 up for Norwich v Sheffield, the game we're watching. Rotherham 0, Hull City 0, Stoke City 0, Coventry 0, Millwall 0, West Brom 0, Reading 0, Bristol City 0, Blackburn Rovers 0, Birmingham 0, and QPR 1, Wigan 0. So that's in the Championship. In the Scottish Premiership, guys, Aberdeen have gone 1-0 up away at Motherwell. So Motherwell 0, Aberdeen 1. As I said not so long ago, Rangers 0, Livingston 1, and St Mirren 0, Dundee United 0. So big games going on around the UK, guys. So we'll come to the lower league games shortly, but that's just a quick overview of what's going on in the Premiership, Championship, and in the Scottish Premiership. Definitely no. Definitely Sheffield United trying to press here, but it's kind of a good game this up to now, guys. They're both going for it. Sheffield United obviously stung with that earlier goal, but they're definitely trying to make an impact on the game to let Norwich know they're not going to have it all their own way. But obviously, that early goal has given Norwich the impetus to not roll over, because you see it sometimes, don't we, guys? Some teams they can go, they can go away from home, and you just see that they're just not up for it. But obviously, an early goal can hit, whether you're up for it or not up for it. If you get an early goal, that can jolt you into action to get up for it. So we have a free kick just about 30 yards from the goal for Sheffield. Oh, well, that was actually quite a clever bit of play, but it just didn't come off. He's chipped it in instead of just taking the shot. He's chipped it over the mountain of bodies in the box, straight onto a Sheffield player who's managed to get to the ball without getting an offside. He's got his back to goal, so he's tried to cross it into the box for another Sheffield player to tap it in, and that's where it kind of went wrong. So, but a good effort and a nice bit of play. That looked like something that had been worked on the training ground. Oh, it's another Norwich goal. Another Norwich goal. Sheffield United at 6s and 7s at the back. Another counter-attack goal. And why Sheffield United didn't get more men back there, I do not know. But yeah, it looks like it could be a difficult afternoon for Sheffield United. Up to now, it's looking like Norwich definitely showing some tenacity in front of goal. And like I say, they're being cut open. Sheffield United are being cut right up, wide open here with some visionary passes. Is the nice way to put it. I don't want to say long balls because there is an element of that, but it's because Norwich are spotting the gaps at the back in Sheffield's line, and Sheffield pushing obviously to go forward, and they're leaving themselves wide open at the back, and that is now Norwich 2-0 up, taking full advantage of the fact that, like I say, the Blades are pressing to get in front. They were pressing to get an equaliser. Sorry. So yeah, if you're any Sheffield fans, want to hear from you guys. What's your thoughts on this? Because I know you guys, obviously, being at the top of the league, but just recently results seem to be going really sour. So if you're a Sheffield United fan, do let me know your thoughts in the comments with the run of results that you guys have had just recently. Because, like I say, you're still up there in the mix at the top of the table, but if you keep having results like this, you're going to drop down the table very soon because you've had, quite a bad run of results just recently. And to be fair, Norwich's run of results haven't been much better just recently either. But obviously, only one team can take the points. Well, all the points other than a draw. Norwich fans in celebration, as you can understand, guys. 18 minutes in, 2-0 up. And they just they basically just took full advantage of Sheffield's pressing and leaving gaps at the back. And but this is where I don't understand why managers don't adjust the tactics. It's clearly obvious that Sheffield are struggling at the back with Norwich's counter attack. So why wouldn't you change it? There's still three at the back. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Sheffield have given themselves a mountain to climb here, going 2-0 down, but they're on the move. They're now pressing for towards Norwich's goal. There is a foul being called, but the referee's giving advantage. And Sheffield just give it. This is the difference up to now that I'm noticing between the two sides, guys. Sheffield slow to build it with their build-up attack. Norwich very quick on the counter attack. Um, and you're not going to score. You're going to make it harder for yourself to score goals as a team if you're allowing the opposition to close the spaces, to get back, get in formation, and make it tight. That was so a long ball across from the right hand side, straight across the goal, bounced literally right over all the players and bounced out on the far side for a throw in to Norwich. So I just giving you that as an example, guys, of Sheffield wasting the possession. Just, I think they're a bit stunned at the minute, and they need to get their act together because otherwise, if they don't, they're going to find themselves even further behind. Obviously, being the home team, the pressure is on them. But yeah, it's uh, it's obviously impacted their tactics going 2-0 down so early in the game. 20 minutes gone, guys. Some crunching tackles going in this game. So let's just quickly go around the grounds. So we have Everton, as I said earlier, 1-0 up against Crystal Palace. Manchester City nil, Brighton nil. That's in the Premier League. In the Championship, Blackpool 4, Preston 2, which was a dinner time kickoff. We've got Sunderland 2-0 up against Burnley. Middlesbrough nil, Huddersfield nil. Sheffield United nil, Norwich 2, obviously the game we're watching. Rotherham nil, Hull City nil. Stoke City nil, Coventry nil. Millwall nil, West Brom 1. Reading nil, Bristol City nil. Blackburn Rovers 1, Birmingham nil. And QPR 1, Wigan Athletic nil. In League One, we have the earlier kickoff, which finished Ipswich. No, sorry, that was yesterday. Ipswich Derby, which finished 1-0. That was last night. My apologies. So the earlier kickoff, Lincoln City, Sheffield Wednesday 1-1. 3 o'clock kickoff so far. Cambridge United nil, Port Vale nil. Bristol Rovers nil, Plymouth Argyle 1. Plymouth going, obviously, getting themselves in front again. So going to be a difficult afternoon for Bristol Rovers, and that's a derby. Obviously, Bristol probably looking to try and get something out of that game, but Plymouth riding high at the top of League One and full of confidence as they're shown with their results. Morecambe nil, Barnsley nil. Forest Green nil, Portsmouth 1. Oxford United nil, Peterborough 1. Shrewsbury nil, Charlton nil. Exeter nil, Fleetwood nil. Accrington 1, Bolton nil. So my team 1-0 behind, which is not a surprise because Bolton seem to keep setting themselves up with a banana skin every time they play Accrington at the minute. Burton nil, Cheltenham nil, MK Dons nil, and Wickham nil. In League Two, Stevenage nil, Northampton Town 1, Grimsby Town nil, Bradford City nil, Crewe Alexander 1, Doncaster nil, Harrogate Town nil, Tranmere nil, Carlisle 1, Leyton Orient 2, Gillingham nil, Barrow nil, Salford City nil, Stockport nil, Newport County 1, Colchester nil, Rochdale nil, Wimbledon nil, Swindon Town 2, Hartlepool nil, Crawley Town 2, Mansfield 1, Sutton United nil, and Walsall nil. That's in League Two. In the Scottish Premiership, earlier kickoff, Hearts finished 3, 3, Celtic 4. 3 o'clock kickoffs, Kilmarnock 1, Ross County nil, Motherwell nil, Aberdeen 1, Rangers nil, Livingston 1, and St Mirren nil, Dundee United nil. In the Scottish Championship, guys, it's Inverness nil, Wraith Rovers 1, Dundee nil, Morton nil, Arbroath nil, Hamilton nil, Ayr nil, Cove Rangers nil, and Partick Thistle nil, Queens Park nil. So that's a roundup of all the games across the UK so far, guys. We'll keep an eye on that through the game. But yeah, obviously the goals this afternoon starting to go in. Now, as you said to you earlier, guys, this is one of the first times I've done a 3 o'clock kickoff. We're doing it as an experiment because I've never had confidence in doing 3 o'clock kickoffs on a Saturday with so much football going on, and you can kind of see that with the low views that we're getting this afternoon, which kind of highlights why I had a reason to be concerned because obviously just a lot of fans going to a lot of games today, so it can very much impact on the views. But like I say, guys, we have to try different times to do these live streams. And doing the match watch alongs is just a stepping stone towards the bigger and better ideas in the future. It's just one part of Fandom, and it's a big part at the minute, unfortunately, because like I say, it's important that we do as many match watch alongs to allow other fans that haven't heard about us yet get to know that we're here. So yeah, so we're just 26 minutes in, guys, and the game's been stopped for a foul. Um, and it's still Norwich 2-0 up. Oh no, Gaz, Accrington have scored. Yes, yeah, thanks, Stevie. Appreciate it, mate. Yeah, I just read through the results and disappointing as usual to see Bolton having difficulties with Accrington. It's becoming a very frustrating figure. Sorry, it's becoming a very frustrating fixture from a Bolton point of view. So yeah, guys, just Sheffield trying to make something happen in the corner on the right hand side, and they've just got. I think they've just got a free kick for a foul. A bit of a silly foul, but obviously Norwich player just showing a little bit of impatientness with obviously Sheffield trying to figure out how they get themselves back in this game, and obviously Norwich players gone diving in, a bit impatient, wanting to get the game, press Sheffield to do something with the ball, and it's resulted in a foul on the far side, right close, very close to the corner flag on the the right hand side of the pitch. Have to think about that one then, guys. So yeah, and the ball, just a wasted ball, guys. Absolute waste opportunity. Sheffield United have kicked it in, not directly into the box, just outside the box, and to one of their own players, but they just wasted the opportunity. Absolute madness. You 2-0 down. You just get it in the box and let players scrap it out in the box when it's when it's a set piece like that. Especially when you're 2-0 down, you don't waste the opportunity passing it back and stuff like that. You get you're up the field. You've got them on the ropes. You've got a set piece. Why not just lob it in the box and see what happens? Guys, please do drop your comments in the chat. Want to hear from you, your thoughts on tonight, this game, or any other games around the UK. We're not restricted to just talking about this game. Another opportunity for Norwich, and it's saved by the keeper. Sheffield United causing themselves all kind of problems at the back this afternoon. But yeah, guys, want to hear from you in the chat. Drop your comments in. Like I say, you're welcome to talk about any footballing topics around the UK. We never, when we do the watch alongs, we never just restricted to the game we're doing. It's just obviously to help with the views and visibility of the channel. It's important to go around the grounds and do match watch alongs for a variety of clubs across the UK to help more fans get to know about us. And also help me improve my football knowledge, because I've got plenty of football knowledge, but I don't know the ins and outs of every team. Obviously, as you can imagine, guys, there's just too many teams. So corner coming in for Norwich, and it's kicked clear. Sheffield now opportunity with a counter attack. Can they make this count? And they've wasted another beautiful counter attacking opportunity with slow play. Slow play is costing Sheffield today up front and at the back. Absolute nuts that they wasted that opportunity. There was so much room and opportunity there for Sheffield to make some happen while it on the counter attack, while Norwich had limited men back. to defend, and they've completely wasted it, guys. They just wasted the opportunity. You cannot do that. They're not going to compete at the top of the league if they don't make their opportunities, if they don't maximise the opportunity. Now we've got Norwich on the counter attack. This is pretty much an end-to-end game, guys. Like Sheffield United pressing now, crossing from the left-hand side, and goes straight into the box. Sheffield player heads it right over the goal, over the top of the goal bar, the goal pot. The crossbar, sorry. You see, sometimes doing these live streams, guys, the words just do not come to you. As you have all the will in the world, you know the words, but they don't always come to your head. It's like brain freeze or something. Just because I'm live and my brain decides to slow up, slow down with bringing the words that I'm thinking of to relevant to what I'm wanting to say. Kind of like brain freeze, like I say, and it can be very frustrating because I know how fluent I can be when I'm not on camera and I'm showing my passion about football. So, but some reason that camera does have an impact on what you want to say sometimes, not allowing you to function and think clearly. Maybe just still, even though after a couple of years of doing fandom, maybe still get a bit nervous and I don't realize it, and that's why my thoughts don't come to me quick enough sometimes. I don't know. Hopefully, one day I'll figure it out, and I will become a lot more fluent with my thinking, relevant to doing live streams. But I have to account for nerves, guys. Believe me, until you sit here and try doing this stuff, it is very hard to sit here or live streaming for 2 hours at a time on your own. So yeah, but I have ambition to build the channel and make it a success. So um, I keep sticking with it and trying. Oh, I'm Sheffield just cleared the lines. Norwich making plenty of opportunities to get forward and creating chances. So, guys, just a quick look what's going on around the ground. So, Everton have still 1-0 up against Crystal Palace. Manchester City have gone 1-0 up against Brighton. Um, Sunderland now 2-0 up against Burnley. Middlesbrough still 0-0 against Huddersfield. Obviously 2-0 Sheffield and Norwich game. Rotherham 0, Hull City 0, Stoke City 0, Coventry 0, Millwall 0, West Brom 1. So West Brom showing getting themselves in front because they've been having, I know West Brom fans quite frustrated with the results they've been getting. Reading 0, Bristol City 0, Blackburn Rovers 1 and Birmingham 0, and QPR 2, Wigan 1. Just quick look over the Scottish Championship. Sorry, the Scottish Premier League. Sorry. Kilmarnock 1-0 up against Ross County. Motherwell still 1-0 behind to Aberdeen. Rangers still 1-0 down to Livingston. And it's still 0-0 St Mirren Dundee United. So, like I say, we'll go around all the grounds as we go, guys. But like I said, that's just a quick overview of the Premiership, Championship, and the Scottish Premiership. But we'll go around the other grounds shortly and see the results in League One as well, and League Two, and the Scottish Championship. So 35 minutes gone in this one now, guys. And it's still Norwich 2-0 up against Sheffield United. Sheffield just pressing now for an opportunity. Another wasted opportunity. It looked good as he took it, but then it's gone really wide. So Sheffield United just I don't know, maybe nerves, maybe um, feeling the pressure a little bit because they're playing at home and they've gone 2-0 down. But they're not doing very well going forward. They're creating opportunities and they're pressing to go forward, but they're not having a lot of success with what they're doing with the ball. And go at the back, they're looking very vulnerable. With obviously Norwich exposing them on two counter attacking opportunities and going 2-0 up. Norwich opportunity going down the right hand side, but it's gone out. The kick, sorry, muscled out and kicked out for a throw in by Sheffield. Now Norwich have got the ball and are pressing Sheffield. So 37 minutes gone, guys. So we're just starting to get towards half time mark. So yeah, question is low views on this one, guys. Is this they got obviously this every stream we do at the minute is an experiment. But the question is it low views because of the clubs, or is it low views because it's a Saturday afternoon and there's just loads of football for you guys to be enjoying? Obviously, we're only going to get that answer by experimenting a bit more as we keep trying different times and different games on different days. But yeah, I'm definitely, as you can understand, quite eager to find out what is the best. Obviously, I've got better ideas for the future, Fanden. Once the channel its first targets, but for now, obviously, very much focused on just doing the live streams as a big part of the channel to get us going, guys. Get the channel out there. But in the future, like I say, I've got different ideas that will be drip fed into the channel as you as we keep continuing to build the project. But yeah, as you can understand, guys, I'm quite eager with so much football going on a Saturday afternoon. Plus, I work a lot of Saturdays sometimes with my weird job, so to speak. I'm very much eager to find out if Saturday afternoons are worth doing match or watch alongs. Because, like I say, I'm happy to do them, but need to pick the times when it's going to give us the opportunity to get a reasonable amount of views to make it worthwhile for the time that it takes to do a live stream. Um, we need to obviously be looking to get a reasonable amount of views for to reward the effort and time that it takes to do a live stream. But like I say, guys, a lot of live streams are just experimental at the minute but to help me get more confident talking about games during games. Um, because I'm not a professional commentator. If anything, if I become a commentator on Fanden, it'll be through sheer will and determination to achieve that success, not because I've been media trained or media manipulated to do it as a professional. So yeah, please, like I said, guys, just bear with me because it's very much doing these live streams to help you guys find the channel and also for me to get more experience doing live stream match watch alongs. So we're 40 minutes in, guys. Still 2-0 to Norwich. Um, not much, nothing changed in the Premier League. Still 1-0 in both of them games. Not much to report in the Championship. West Millwall have equalised with West Brom, so that's one to take note of. Um, in League One, guys, just a quick look over League One. It's Ipswich. Sorry, I keep getting that wrong. That was last night's game, wasn't it? Lincoln City won. Sheffield won in the early kickoff. Cambridge United nil. Port Vale nil. 3 o'clock kickoffs. These Bristol Rovers nil. Plymouth still 1-0 up against Bristol Rovers. Morecambe 1. Barnsley nil. Forest Green nil. Portsmouth 1. Oxford United nil. Peterborough 2. Shrewsbury nil, Charlton nil, Exeter City 1, Fleetwood 1, Accrington still 1-0 up against Bolton, Burton nil, Cheltenham nil, MK Dons nil, and Wickham 1. In League Two, guys, um, Stevenage nil, Nottingham Forest, not Northampton Town 1, Grimsby nil, Bradford City nil, Crewe Alexandra nil, Doncaster nil, Harrogate Town nil, Tranmere nil, Carlisle. Oh, this can't be right. Hang on a minute. My page is not updated. My apologies, guys. The stupid page hadn't updated. Sorry. So yeah. Crewe Alexandra 1, Doncaster nil, Harrogate Town 1, Tranmere nil, Carlisle 1, Leighton Orient 2, Gillingham nil, Barrow 1. Um, Salford City nil, Stockport nil, Newport County 1, Colchester nil, Rochdale nil, Wimbledon 1, Swindon Town 2, Hartlepool 1, Crawley Town 2, Mansfield 2, Sutton United nil, and Walsall nil. In the Scottish Premiership, it's 1-0, still 1-0 Kilmarnock. V Ross County. Motherwell still 1-0 down against Aberdeen. Rangers still 1-0 down against Livingston. And St Mirren have gone 1-0 up against Dundee United. So Dundee United really struggling at the moment. In the Scottish Championship, it's Inverness 1, Wraith Rovers 1, Dundee United nil, Greenock Morton nil, Arbroath nil, Hamilton nil, Ayr United 2, Cove Rangers 1, and Partick Thistle nil, Queens Park 1. That's a really confusing name, that. But yeah, just by that big game that sorry, that's a where was I looking now? I'm yawning a lot today for some reason. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of, guys. That's a long journey that for Barrow. Gillingham obviously playing Barrow today, and what a long journey that is for Barrow down to Gillingham. If you know where Barrow is in the Lake District, guys, it's not an easy place to get to, and just getting to the motorway from Barrow Inverness um, is a good hour drive at least, if not a little bit more, just to get from Barrow to the motorway. So a long visit down to Gillingham today, and obviously Barrow looking to make the most of it, going 1-0 up in the first half of that game. So any of you guys are actually watching, would love to hear from you guys. Drop your comments in the chat. It would be very much appreciated. Um, so we're just coming to half time now, guys. Sheffield United still 2-0 down, and we're into the added on time. My apologies, keep yawning, guys. Don't know why. I'm yawning quite a bit today. So, guys, just yeah, they do. Norwich creating another opportunity, getting in behind Sheffield there, and it's gone out for a corner for Norwich. But yeah, they definitely do not look comfortable at the back. It begs the question: how did they get themselves in this bit early league, up the league so early in the season, and then they look at sixes and sevens at the minute, and the results for Sheffield United suggest it. I mean, both Norwich and Sheffield going into this game have got a particularly bad run. I did do the research on it last night, and both clubs have had a particularly bad run. But yeah. Sheffield, it's clear to see why they're dropping points with how vulnerable they look at the back. They look really, really shaky at the back. Booking for Norwich. I have to bear with you guys. I can't always tell you the players because, like I say, we're going round the grounds, and I know football players, some football players, but you just can't know every player's names. And with four leagues, four professional leagues in the English leagues and another four professional leagues in the Scottish leagues. That's a lot of clubs and players to remember. So obviously, I hope you understand, guys. I just cannot remember all players' names. Um, but as we do the live streams, I am hoping that I will pick up on more players that I'm not as familiar with. Uh, and I have noticed it a little bit so far with doing these live match watch alongs because it's given me a lot of opportunity to watch clubs that I don't normally watch. If I wasn't doing fan, then a lot of these games I wouldn't normally watch. Um, because I'd be watching my own team. For example, today, my team Bolton are playing today, and to try and make an impact on the channel and keep pushing for Fanden to grow, for it to be a success in the future for you guys. I'm sacrificing watching my own club today to do this stream. With the hope that it was obviously going to be, going to be some fans curious that hadn't been on the channel up to this point. Oh, good opportunity. Sheffield kicking the ball. Corner came in, cleared, and then fell to a Sheffield player just outside the box. And he's took a chance, just shot a goal, and luckily that from the looking to score, sorry, and the goalkeeper's got down to his right hand side and just got a hand to it to keep it out. And the full time whistle has gone. So a clear goal scoring opportunity coming for Sheffield right at the last knockings. And I don't know if it actually went out because if it went out, obviously I'd like to see him get a corner when they're struggling. But yeah, half time, guys. It's 2-0 Burton. 2-0 to Norwich. Sorry, Burton. That's looking through the other games. Um, it's 2-0 to Norwich City away at Sheffield United. So obviously, if you're a Sheffield fan, I want to hear from you. What's you making of this being 2-0 down in the first half and going 1-0 down so early on? And if you're a Norwich fan, are you seeing an improvement with this performance? Because, as I say, very much aware that both teams going into this game have been struggling. So, obviously, Norwich fans, you guys don't know best. You watch your team regular. Is this a much improved performance to what you've been seeing in recent weeks? With you guys also having a bit of slump in form. So let's just quickly go over the results at half time, guys. If you can, guys, please do hit that like button. Drop your comments. I will come to comments throughout the game if there is any. But like I said, let's just have a quick roundup around the games. Sorry, around the grounds. Um, So it's in the Premier League. It's half time, and it's Everton 1, Crystal Palace nil, Manchester City 2, Brighton nil, and it finished Nottingham Forest 1, Liverpool nil in the early dinner time kickoff. In the Championship, guys, The dinner time kickoff was Blackpool v Preston, which was a local derby, and that finished Blackpool 4, Preston 2. So big win for Blackpool against their local rivals. All the 3 o'clock kickoffs are as follows, guys. Sunderland 2, Burnley 0. So after the terrific win in midweek, Burnley are 2-0 down away at Sunderland. Middlesbrough, no, sorry, Burnley got a draw, didn't they? Yeah, my apologies. It was a 1-1 draw in midweek, if I remember rightly. Middlesbrough 0, Huddersfield 0. Rotherham 1, Hull City 1. Stoke City 0, Coventry 0. Millwall 1, West Brom 1. Reading 0, Bristol City 0. Blackburn Rovers 2, Birmingham 0. QPR 2, Wigan Athletic 1. So that's all the 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Championship. In League One, we had the dinner time kickoff, which finished Lincoln City 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1. The 3 o'clock kickoffs, guys. Cambridge United 0, Port Vale 0, Bristol Rovers 0, Plymouth Argyle 2, Morecambe 1, Barnsley 0, Forest Green 0, Portsmouth 1, Oxford United 0, Peterborough 2, Shrewsbury 0, Charlton 0, Exeter City 1, Fleetwood 1, Accrington 1, Bolton 0, Burton 0, Cheltenham 0, and MK Dons 0, Wickham 1. So that's the roundup of League One. In League Two, guys, it's Stevenage 1, Northampton Town 1, Grimsby Town 0, Bradford City 0, Crewe Alexander 1, Doncaster 0, Harrogate Town 1, Tranmere 0, Carlisle 1, Leyton Orient 2, Gillingham 0, Barrow 1, Salford City 0, Stockport 1, Newport County 1, Colchester 0, Rochdale 0, AFC Wimbledon 1, Swindon Town 2, Hartlepool 1, Crawley Town 2, Mansfield 2, Sutton United 0, and Walsall 0. So that's a roundup of League Two, guys. Into the Scottish Premiership. And as I have said a couple of times on today's stream, Hearts finished with Celtic earlier dinner time kickoff, finished Hearts 3, Celtic 4. But a good effort from Hearts in that one. I would obviously, without saying it, but I would suggest that they've put some effort into that one. 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Scottish Premiership is Kilmarnock 1, Ross County 0, Motherwell 0, Aberdeen 1, Rangers 0, Livingston 1, and St Mirren 1, Dundee United 0. In the Scottish Championship, just a quick, only a couple of games in this one. Inverness 1, Wraith Rovers 1, Dundee 0, Greenock Morton 0, Arbroath 1, Hamilton 0, Ayr United 2, Cove Rangers 1, and Partick Thistle 0, Queen's Park 1. So that's a roundup of the games, guys, around the UK. Obviously, lots of goals going in. But yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys on your thoughts of the game so far. And like I say, if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button and definitely hit that like button if you could, because it does help us get more visibility on YouTube. Stephen Allen, I would probably say because lots of people go into matches. Yeah, mate, I think that's the problem. But obviously, I've not done a lot of 3 o'clock Saturday stuff on 3 o'clock. And it looks obviously the early stages of this live stream anyway is definitely giving the indication that it might be a big waste of time doing anything around football around 3 o'clock ish with so many fans off to games and stuff like that. But like I say, a lot of the live streams that we're doing, match watch alongs, particular, some of them experiments to see what the best times to target are for games, stuff like that. And because I've not done a lot of 3 o'clock stuff on a Saturday, which I've done very little, to be honest, very little, because I've just simply for this reason, being unsure of whether it'd get views and stuff. But we have to try it. We have to try it. Um, so yeah, clearly it's giving today's match watch along giving a big indication that maybe 3 o'clock live streams will be a big waste of time, no matter what game I do. So only going to know more about that in the future, obviously, as we try it. But very disappointing for the first half, I've got to be honest. But like I say, win some, lose some. You know, not all live streams are going to be booming. Some live streams will be high, good views. Some live streams not very good views. So yeah, we're just trying it out at the minute, particularly with the 3 o'clock, to see whether it's worth putting the effort into the 3 o'clock kickoffs. But it might be better for me to do reaction stuff, I think, on a Saturday. Stephen Allen, trial and error, mate. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I say, at least we like I say, doing the 3 o'clock kickoff. We never got. There's no point me sitting there wondering about it. The only way to get answers whether it's worth doing 3 o'clock kickoffs is to try it. Like I say, but I think it's today's live stream definitely giving a big indication. Unfortunately, that it looks like Saturday afternoon 3 o'clock kickoffs might not be the best time to do live streams, but we'll see, guys. You'll see. It could be just the game. Could be just the game. You just don't know. But yeah, we're just waiting for the second half coming up, guys. If you like I say, if you're dropping in, please do hit that like button and like I say, drop your comments in the chat if you want to have your opinions heard, because that's what we're all about here on Football Fan Den UK. So I want to hear from you guys. Also, if you're watching a game today, guys, what's your thoughts on whatever game you're watching? Let me know in the chat. Also, there's a game scheduled for tomorrow afternoon, guys. Aston Villa against Brentford, if I'm remembering correctly. And that game is obviously sorry, Aston Villa v Brentford, and that game is obviously Aston Villa's first game in without Steven Gerrard since he's been sacked. So yeah, if you go and check that out, guys, on the channel, that's scheduled for tomorrow. Go on hit a like on that; it'd be very much appreciated. Help its visibility to be seen around the YouTube community. So it looks like players coming out, just about to start coming out in a minute for the second half, guys. It should be an interesting second half because no offense, but that Sheffield have got the manager's got to be giving some serious words to the Sheffield United defenders, because some of the from my point of view, Norwich deservedly 2-0 up, but I think Sheffield made it too easy for them in that first half. Too many mistakes, too much defensive mistakes, and not just basically looking at sixes and sevens at the back, and you could see why they had they've had a slump in form. I mean, you wouldn't look at it. You look at the table, guys. They're sitting. I think they're in fourth place or something at the minute, and the top near the top of the league. But then you look at their recent results, and it's really disappointing to a team near the top of the league. So yeah, from my point of view, it's pretty obvious to see that if Sheffield United don't get their act together, they could be struggling for the rest of the season and just end up with the season petering out, maybe mid-table or worse if they're not careful, because they don't look, but they look very nervous at the back. They look like their mistakes are in the defence at the back, and Norwich have exposed that. So yeah, Aaron, how's it going, mate? Appreciate you dropping in. Aaron saying, all right, guys, mate. How are you? Sorry I'm late. No, mate, never need to apologize for being late. To be honest, I didn't expect you to drop in today. I thought you might be at the game. Obviously, Dundee United playing today, but I think it's away game, isn't it? Is it an away game, maybe? Um, yeah, it's an away game. So I know you do go to a lot of Dundee United home games. I didn't actually realise there was. I just knew they were playing today, so I wasn't sure whether you might be going to that game, mate. But yeah, thank you very much for dropping in. Appreciate it today, Aaron. Because like I say, all the live streams we're doing at the minute are to get the channel known and more give more fans chance to find us. But obviously, some like today are an experiment because, as I'm sure you know, Aaron, and any of you other guys that watch regular, I haven't done a lot of Saturday football live streams because I've been very unsure about it because just simply because there's a lot of football on, guys. So obviously, a lot of fans go to games normally on a Saturday afternoon. I'm normally watching my own club as well. There's just so much football on. It's kind of like, is it worth doing 3 o'clock kickoffs for live streams at the minute while the channel is still trying to get established? And obviously today's live stream has kind of given me an indication that I was right to be cautious because I don't expect high views on every live stream. Don't get me wrong. I know we're going to have good live streams that have high views, live stream that have low views, and some live streams that have really low views. But unfortunately, guy, I've got to try. I've got to experiment with all different times and all different days to see what what to help me get more confident. Learn when is good times to do games, when it's going to be when fans are going to want me to do more live streams because obviously you guys will, I'm sure, want me to do more live streams when it's more difficult for you to get to games. And sometimes it's easy for you to get to games, so that's understandable. Sometimes it's not easy for fans to get to games. So, like I say, just bit of an experiment today with the 3 o'clock kickoffs because I haven't done a lot of 3 o'clock kickoffs, and as I'm sure you guys can understand, it's simply because there is so much football played on Saturdays, and a lot of fans go to games. But like I say, I'm doing this one today as an experiment to see, to start getting an idea if Saturday 3 o'clock kickoffs are worth considering for live streams. I think in the future it's probably going to be better while we're getting the channel going. It might be better on a Saturday if I target um, more roundup reactions after the games of 3 o'clock. Because, like I say, I'm not saying that 3 o'clock kickoffs aren't worth doing at all, but I'm just thinking they might be not the best way for me to target my efforts while we're trying to get the channel more known by other fans and established as as a mainstay on YouTube, so to speak. So, like I said, guys, unfortunately, if the chat's quiet today, please do bear with me. It's like I say, it's simply because a lot of fans at games, and I'm not known for doing 3 o'clock kickoffs, so I've not done any up to this point. So it's like I say, today's game is very much testing the water, so to speak, to see whether we can get views on 3 o'clock kickoff. So you can understand that, guys. There's just so much football. I understand it. You guys, you work all week, or you're at college, university, school, whatever it is. You put the hard work in all week with whatever it is you're doing in your life, and on a Saturday, your reward is to enjoy the football. I totally get that. But like I say, from a fandom point of view, it's obviously with us being such a new channel to YouTube, it's it's a difficult one to call whether it's worth the time and the effort to do Saturday match watch alongs. So, guys, we have kicked off in the second half. And it's still 2-0 Norwich, just 46 minutes in. I'll come to the comments in a minute, guys. 46 minutes in, so we're just 2 minutes or so into the second half. Norwich are definitely coming out with the intention to match. Oh, and another opportunity wasted by Norwich. What is it wasted? They managed to keep it in on the left-hand side, and it looks like is a cross coming in? No, they're not doing a lot of crosses. They've scored with long balls, guys, but they're not using it when they get up forward. They're actually trying to pass it about a bit, Norwich. But by passing it about, you give the opportunities for the opposition to steal the ball away from you. But yeah, so yeah, back to the comments, guys. Sorry, apologies, Aaron. But yeah, thanks for dropping in, mate. And like I say, don't ever feel you need to apologise, mate. All your support is always appreciated. And obviously, you've been very supportive of the channel, Aaron, in the last few weeks, and it's not gone unnoticed, mate. It's not gone unnoticed. I very much appreciate it. Like I say, hopefully, if you're not too busy, maybe later this evening or tomorrow. I'll try and catch up with you, Aaron, because like I said, I would love to get you involved in this group ambassador thing if you're interested. Because I haven't obviously delegated an ambassador in the Scottish group just yet, and obviously there's other groups that I've got going as well where we have ambassadors. So I would love to speak to you about that later, Aaron, if you've got time, mate. Don't have to be long, just a quick, you know, 5-10 minute chat just to explain what I'm trying to do with it, and the fact that it is an experiment, and see and let you just give you a bit of understanding of what I'm trying to do with it and the idea behind it, and see if you're interested. I think you are interested, obviously. But obviously, I just like to be clear so that everybody's on the same page. I've done it with all the other ambassadors that are involved. I've had a quick call with them, quick chat, just to make sure we're on the same page. Um, and like I said, you've been so supportive, mate. I would love to get you involved in that if you're up for it. So maybe catch you later this evening or tomorrow if you've got time, mate. So just yeah, like I said, I'll drop you a message after later on after the stream and see if you are available. But if not, not a problem, mate. No pressure. I don't pressure anybody to get involved. It's just you've been so supportive of the project and the chat and coming on the channel, being very supportive. I very much appreciate it, and it's just doing the ambassador thing is my way of giving you guys a little bit of a bit of appreciation back for the support that you give. So, guys, um, 49 minutes in, Norwich seem to be getting the best up to now of this second half, and obviously Sheffield kind of backs to the wall a bit at the minute. And hopefully they have a better defensive response to this second half, because they were at sixes and sevens in that first half in spells. So I'm sure the manager has given them a bit of a kick up the backside to get their act together defensively, because, like I say, they look shambolic in some of them goals that in the two goals that Norwich scored um, in the first half. We'll go around the other results very shortly, guys. Just let's see what Aaron's saying. Aaron Hart saying, think VAR has been announced in Scotland. Now it's being used in every game and already had controversial decisions. Yeah, mate. Well, obviously, I've not done a lot of and I've not done much Scottish football this season up to now, but I will be looking to. I have been looking the last week or two for the opportunities, what games to potentially target. Obviously, I'm still very much learning about Scottish football, mate. So don't want. I know I got a mistake a couple last year. I got tipped to do. I think it was last year. I got tipped to do the Highland Derby. I got told off a Scottish fan the Highland Derby would get me good views, definitely get good views, very popular fix. I did it, and I think I got about. I think it was one of the poorest live streams I've ever had. So I'm obviously wanting to do Scottish football games, but I'm wanting to target the games that are going to give us a chance of getting some fans that have not found out about us to see what we're about and come and check out the channel. And like I say, that when I did that Highland Derby last year, I was so disappointed because the fan that told me to do it was bigging it up, hyping it up, talking out like it was a really popular game, and I would guarantee to get a few new views, and I got really poor views on it. It was one of the worst live streams I've done, and that's part of the project. The part of the project is to experiment, see what's games, but as I'm sure you can understand, mate, when some fan is telling you, "Oh, it's definitely a good game to do," and you do it, and it's not that good to do, then it's obviously very disappointing. But like I say, I will be looking as soon as I can, really, to get something done for Scottish football, because I've not done nothing much this season. And part of it is, like I say, just confidence, because I need to. I'm learning about Scottish football all the time. I'm absorbing Scottish football all the time. But obviously, I don't know Scottish football as well as you guys in Scotland. So obviously, an element of confidence comes into it as well. But yeah, mate, like I said, I'll be checking that out with. I'm just explaining that, but I'll be taking some notice of what's going on in Scotland with this VAR. Do you, is it has it got some decisions right up to now, Aaron? That's the big question. Has it is it kind of 50-50? Does it look like they're still trying to figure out how to use it? Does it can you still see the bias? Because obviously a lot of Scottish fans noted about the bias towards Rangers and Celtic and stuff like that. So, whoa, what's going on here? What's going on? That got him up, didn't it? Sheffield United, right. So basically, Sheffield United, um, Norwich player in possession. Sheffield United, out of sheer frustration, one of the Sheffield United players has gone to kick the ball, couldn't kick the ball. The player's wrapped himself round the ball, and basically the Sheffield player has gone to kick him. He's gone to kick him. Did I get that right? Was it the Sheffield player? Yeah, the Sheffield. No, sorry, the Norwich player kicked the Sheffield player. Yeah, he's gone to ground. And yeah, it's a blatant kick. It's a blatant kick by the Norwich player on the Sheffield player while he's on the ground. And obviously, as you can imagine, guys, the Sheffield player that was on the ground got up pretty quick to react to that. But yeah, absolutely shocking that he's done that, to be honest. Not exactly sporting conduct, is it? But yeah, that was an interesting one, that. And just a corner set piece coming in for Sheffield, but Norwich have got the ball and they're hitting Sheffield quick on the counter attack here. And now we've got a penalty claim, and the referee's waving it away. This has become rapidly end to end, guys. Rapidly end to end. I will come to your comments in a minute, Aaron, mate. But yeah, just this game has just suddenly springed into life. It's gone from Sheffield's end to Norwich on the counter attack, claiming a penalty. The penalty gets waved away, and now we're back down in the other end of the pitch with Sheffield having an opportunity. And now Norwich have got the ball, and now they're going back up the other end of the pitch on a counter attack. So honest, in the last 2 minutes, he's gone like from each end twice. And now I think the goalkeeper's going to try and take the sting and slow the game down a little bit, because another opportunity wasted for Norwich. And thank you. And obviously the Sheffield goalkeeper grabbing hold of the ball and just trying to slow the game down a little bit. That was awesome, that, guys. That's the kind of thing we want to see. Getting a bit scrappy in this corner. There's Sheffield eager to get the ball back off Norwich when they get it, because obviously being 2-0 down, they want to try and pull a goal back. But obviously Norwich, when they're in the defensive position, they're trying to do what they can to slow the game down, which is well, it's not understandable because it's too early in the game. We're only 55 minutes in, so surely Norwich, being in 2-0 up, shouldn't be looking to slow the game down too much at this stage. If anything, they should be looking to get a third to make it more difficult for Sheffield to get back into it. But yeah, another opportunity there for Sheffield, blazed over the bar. I'm not sure what's going on here at the minute, guys, because there seems to be a bit of a melee going on with the referee, and we've got another Norwich player down on the floor injured. It's getting a bit handbaggy here, guys. We've got referee trying to sort all this out. I'm expecting to see some purses in a minute, chucking makeup at each other. But yeah, look, there's quite a bit there for the referee to sort out by the looks of it. And we still got a Norwich player on the ground holding his ankle. So yeah, I'll bring you a bit more on that in a minute, guys. Aaron is saying, yeah, of course, mate. I'm free to catch up later. Oh, cool. All right, mate. Well, as soon as come off the live stream, I'll grab a bit of something to eat, and then I'll try and drop you a message and catch up. Because like I say, mate, it's up to you. There's no pressure. Absolutely no pressure. But like I say, you've been really, really supportive, and I massively appreciate it, especially because, like I say, we're still in the early stages of building the channel. So with being in the early stages, I'm sure you've witnessed, Aaron, some live streams can be really quiet. Some live streams can get good views. And until we grow the fandom community, it's going to be very much like that. But the more I do the live streams, hopefully the more will grow the fandom community. And your support is amazing, mate. So, and as thanks for your support, I would love to get you that bit more involved if you're up for it. But like I say, there's no pressure. But yeah, so I'm trying to figure out what the referee has done with this melee. Right? Is he handing out some cards? I'll come back to your comments in a minute, Aaron, mate. I will. I'm just trying to work out what the referee is doing here. Because a minute ago, he was swamped by players. There were so many players around him, and it looked like it was like they were going to get their handbags out and start hitting each other. But yeah, I've missed it. I've missed what exactly what's gone on, but I'm presuming he's maybe dished out one or two yellow cards because there's no sign of any players being sent off, or maybe he's just give some stern warnings to one or two players. But that was. It's getting a bit heated, guys. Getting a bit heated. I think it's understandable. It could get more heated if it stays like this, or if Sheffield get pull one back, it could get more heated because obviously they're going to be eager to try and get the leveler. But I think that's what's adding to this scrappiness in the game because Sheffield, the clock's ticking down. Sheffield United eager to get a goal back to give them themselves a chance to level the score at least before full time. But Norwich, obviously, they're not as eager to play fast football because they're 2-0 up. So as you can understand, that means that the two styles of play that the players are both teams are looking to use. Obviously, Sheffield wanting to speed up the game, Norwich wanting to slow down the game. It's clashing, and it's meaning that they're it's getting a bit scrappy with niggly tackles and players leaving feet in challenges, stuff like that. So we could have some more handbag stuff going on, is what I'm trying to say. But let's see how it plays out, guys. At the minute, it seems to calm down a bit from what it was. We'll go around the grounds in a minute, guys. I'm just going to read Aaron's next comment. Aaron's heart saying, yes, 1-1 Dundee United finally scored. Absolutely, yeah, mate. I know you've been very frustrated with Dundee over the last few weeks and months since the start of the season. But yeah, hopefully you can get some out of that, mate. And obviously getting back on level terms gives you guys a fighting chance. Just going to quickly, I'll come back to your comments in a minute, Aaron, mate. I'm just going to quickly go around the grounds and give you guys a quick update. Everton still 1-0 up against Crystal Palace. Man City 2-1 now with Brighton. So Brighton pulled a goal back. So it's 2-1 to Man City. And that's the only 3:00 kickoffs we've got in the Premier League today, guys. There's only 2 games for 3:00 kickoffs in Premier League today. In the English Championship, it finished in the earlier kickoff, the derby game, Blackpool 4, Preston 2. The 3:00 kickoffs, it's Sunderland 2, Burnley 1, Middlesbrough 0, Huddersfield 0, Rotherham 1, Hull City 2, Stoke City 0. Sorry about that. Stoke City 0, Coventry 1. So Coventry now potentially in a position to get back-to-back wins after their win the other day, which would definitely pull them away from the bottom of the table. Obviously, might not pull them out of the relegation zone, but it could definitely pull them. They were sitting bottom at the beginning of the week. So it should, if they can stick with that and keep that winning mentality going, then they could done themselves a massive favour with 6 points this week. Millwall 1, West Brom 1, Reading 1, Bristol City 0, Blackburn Rovers 2, Birmingham 0, QPR 2, and Wigan Athletic 1. In the League One games, finished with the earlier kickoff, dinner time kickoff, Lincoln City 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1. 3:00 kickoff so far, Cambridge United 0, Port Vale 0, Bristol Rovers 2, Plymouth Argyle 2. So Bristol have pulled that back on level terms. And a goal's just gone in for Sheffield United, guys. So Sheffield United have pulled one back. So it's Sheffield 1, Norwich 2. So we're in for an interesting final half an hour of this game now with Sheffield getting one back. So yeah, keep an eye on that, guys. Yeah, yeah, great goal from Sheffield. Good team goal across the box, chipped into the box. One of the Sheffield players has held the ball up, holding off a defender, a Norwich defender, and he's just chipped it across 5 yards, 10 yards, whatever it is, across the box to one of his teammates, and he's slotted it home to give Sheffield a one game back. Hey, there, is that. So yeah, so it's Sheffield one, Norwich one. Just back to the rest of finish reading the rest of these results out, guys. What was it up to Bristol Rovers, obviously, yes. So like I said, Bristol have levelled up with Plymouth, so it's 2-2 there. Markham 1, Barnsley 0, Forest Green 0, Portsmouth 1, Oxford United 1, Peterborough 2, Shrewsbury 0, Charlton 0. Exeter 1, Fleetwood 1, Accrington 2, Bolton 1. So Bolton, my team, Bolton losing still to Accrington, becoming a real bogey team for my club at the minute. Burton 0, Cheltenham 0, MK Dons 0, Wickham 1. And that's in League 1, English League 1. In League 2, it's Stevenage 1, Northampton Town 1. Grimsby Town 0, Bradford City 0, Crewe Alexander 1, Doncaster 0, Harrogate Town 1, Tranmere 1, Carlisle 2, Leyton Orient 3, Gillingham 0, Barrow still 1-0 up down there. Salford City 0, Stockport 1. That's another derby game. So Stockport 1-0 up away to Salford in the derby. Newport County 1, Colchester 0, Rochdale 0, Wimbledon 1. Swindon Town 2, Hartlepool 1, Crawley Town 3, Mansfield Town 2, and Sutton United 0, Walsall 0. A quick view over the Scottish results, guys. Scottish Premiership, there's only a couple of games today in the Scottish Premiership. The earlier kickoff finished Hearts 3, Celtic 4. The 3 o'clock kickoffs as follows: Kilmarnock 1, Ross County 0, Motherwell 1, Aberdeen 1, Rangers 0, Livingston 1, and St Mirren 1, Dundee United 1. In the Scottish Championship, it's Inverness 1, Wraith Rovers 1, Dundee 0, Greenock Morton 0, Arbroath 1, Hamilton 0, Ayr United 2, Cove Rangers 2, and Partick Thistle 0, Queen's Park 3. So there you go, guys. That's a quick roundup of all the games across the UK in all the UK leagues that are relevant. Obviously, I can't do non-league, guys, because I'd be sitting here just reading through results all through the stream. So obviously, when we do the live stream, just concentrate on all the major leagues. So yeah, we've got a real game on here now, guys. Obviously, with Sheffield pulling one back, that makes it Sheffield 1, Norwich 2. So Norwich now in possession. They've got set piece, obviously, into the box. Oh, into the box past all the players. It looked like Norwich player was just going to get his head on the end of that, but he couldn't come towards the ball to score, and the keeper came out to collect it, and they both kind of clashed a little bit. So it ended up just petering out and going out on for a free kick. But luckily, no player injured there, because that could have resulted in an injury with the way the goalkeeper and the Norwich player came together. Luckily, nothing to report injury wise. But we have now got a Norwich player down for something else that's gone on the pitch. Maybe just Norwich players now starting to try and slow the game down, which is disappointing when we still got a good 25 minutes to play. But yeah, it's going. It's good. It's like I say, it's a good scrappy game up to now. So like I say, both teams definitely wanting to get something out of this game. So quickly go back to comments, guys. Please, if you could, hit that like button, and don't forget, if you're new to the channel, just dropping in to have a nosy, please do consider subscribing. Give us a chance it would be very much appreciated. Aaron saying it's had a couple of controversial decisions, but most decisions have been quite good so far with VAR. Yeah, mate. I think obviously with VAR in Scotland, there'll be like kind of what do we call it, like a honeymoon period, if you like, where the referees get to know it, get familiar with it. But obviously, the more they get familiar with it and confident with it, that's when we could start to see whether the bias comes in. Let's hope we don't, mate. Let's hope it makes an improvement, because I'd love to see that improvement for across the board for Scottish football fans to enjoy the league being managed more fairly without this bias. That is, I'm not saying all referees are biased, but we've definitely seen evidence that some referees in Scotland seem to have bias. Um, and unfortunately, I think that brought about by the crazy political and religious beliefs brought into the game by particularly Rangers and Celtic in Scottish football. And unfortunately, one thing that I've always got learnt when I was younger is what you try and avoid debating with people to avoid arguments is religion, politics, and death. You avoid them two things, and you get on with. You avoid them things, and most of the time you get on with people reasonably well. But as soon as you start talking about politics and religion, you're asking for arguments with people because people will react to stuff like that because it gets their passion going. So yeah, unfortunately, like I say, that has been evident in some cases of referees in Scotland. But like I say, fingers crossed, Aaron. Fingers crossed it makes a difference, mate. And like I say, I think at the minute we've got to give it a few weeks for the referees to get used to it. Let the honeymoon period, gel. Let them get past that honeymoon period, and then we can establish it maybe in January or something like that. How we think that it's going, and then obviously give a more deeper assessment at the end of the season. But yeah, I appreciate that, Aaron, and thanks for keeping me up to date with that, mate. Like I say, we'll keep a close eye on that. I'm sure there'll be opportunities for us to do some live streams to debate how the VAR is getting used in Scotland in the weeks and months ahead. Like I say, we've got to give them a few weeks, I suppose, to have a honeymoon period just to get a feel for it, let the referees get used to it, because it is new to the Scottish referees, so it is new. So we have to give them some time to get used to it. But like I say, I think maybe January, February will be a time to roughly judge it a little bit. And then obviously, come the end of the season, we can give a more fairer judgment, good or bad, how we think it's been used in its first. It's a bit strange, isn't it, though, guys, that Scottish football has decided to just randomly start using VAR part way through the season. This is kind of like where you're getting the impression that are there people running the SPFL professional? Because every other professional league would start using something like that at the start of a season. They would implement it at the start of the season. I'm not just talking about the Premier League or the English Championship. I'm talking about the French League. I'm talking about the La Liga. I'm talking about Serie A and the Bundesliga. These leagues would all look to do it like the Premier League. And if you're going to introduce something new, introduce it at the start of the season. So is this yet again more evidence of the lack of professionalism coming from the people running the SPFL? The fact that they don't do that, the fact that they introduce using VAR partway through the season, it's questionable, isn't it? But at the minute, like I said, I'm sure a lot of Scottish fans are just looking to see if if it helps. And it's an equaliser for Sheffield United. So we got the 2-2 now, guys. So it's going to be the last 20 minutes going to be a real scrap. Slotted in with the keeper, coming in with a cross, I think that was, and Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United, apologies to any Sheffield fans watching, Sheffield United player has just paid off, and you've got to give them credit because Sheffield United have not stopped in this game. They kept plugging away. It didn't look like they were going to get anything in the first half because they were making a lot of mistakes defensively and looked like they was vulnerable at the back. But in the second half, they seemed to have come out more organised at the back, and they've got themselves more organised going forward, and it's paying dividend. And it, like I say, straight across onto the far left-hand side of the box, headed by a Sheffield player back into the box and squeezed in at the far post. by Sheffield player McBurnett, I think it is, that's tapped it in. Apologies if I'm not pronouncing his name correctly, guys. But like I say, with so many football clubs across the UK, I just cannot know every player. It's impossible. There's too many clubs. There's 4 leagues in England, 4 leagues in Scotland, and they're all supposed to be professional leagues. That's a lot of players to learn and remember the names of. So bear with me if I don't always pronounce the names of the players correctly, because I just cannot memorize absolutely every player. So yeah, now Norwich creating a chance, and now this is going to get really interesting, guys, because Norwich were trying to slow the game down, or at least that's the way it looked. They were trying to slow the game down, frustrate Sheffield, and now it's kind of doing that so early in the second half is now showing that it's come back to haunt them, because obviously Sheffield have leveled it up now, so it's 2-2, and with leveling it up, it now puts the pressure back on Norwich, because they were from a winning position. They're now in the position where they were looking to walk away with 3 points, and they could be looking to walk away with 1 point or maybe no points from a winning position. And they've got only got themselves to blame, really, guys, because they're the ones that decided to try and slow the game down, while Sheffield were pushing to speed the game up to create chances. And like I say, we could see this pay off for Sheffield because Norwich, like I say, just slowing the game down so early in the second half is a recipe for creating your own problems. We got a call for a penalty in the Norwich box for Sheffield, and the referee has waved it away. So, guys, please do hit that like button if you could. It'd be very much appreciated. And consider subscribing if you're new. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Aaron saying, "Oh no, 2-1 St Mirren, never mind." Well, hopefully, mate, there's still time. Hopefully, Dundee United can level it up at least before full-time whistle goes. So keep the faith, mate. Let's hope they can pull one back for you and at least get a point out of that game. But yeah, thanks for that, Aaron. I appreciate you keeping updated, mate. Like I said, we'll read round the grounds every so often through the live stream to let you know what's going on in the other games. But I'm sure you guys are watching some of the other games as well. But like I say, don't want to do it too much, because obviously otherwise I'll just be sat here reading results all the time. Aaron saying, yes, VAR disallowed St Mirren's goal. All right, so it's still 1-1. Awesome. Cool. Cool. So positive impact there from VAR from a Dundee United point of view. So yeah, hopefully, mate, that gives that rattles your team to get their act together and go for the win and keep it tight at the back. So yeah, let's see how that one plays out, mate. But hopefully, positive. Like I say, I hope it's a positive afternoon for you with regards to Dundee United, because I know you've been getting frustrated the last few weeks with the results not being up to the standard that we expect from Dundee United. Stephen Allen saying, nice one, Aaron. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Thanks for that, Stevie. Appreciate it, mate. Aaron Hart saying, thanks, Stevie. Yep. Awesome to see you guys talking amongst yourselves. Oh, yeah, it's a good question, Stevie. Yeah, thanks for that, Stevie. Aaron, do you want VAR in Scotland? Yeah, that's a cracking question. Thanks for that, Stevie. Brilliant question, that, mate. If you guys are wondering, yes, we are doing the Sheffield United Norwich game, but obviously Fanden is about fans, so we're always happy to talk about stuff you guys want to talk about in the chat as well. We don't just stick rigidly to the game. Obviously, I keep giving you updates on the game, but obviously, like I say, Fanden is about involving you guys. So whenever we do these live streams, always involve you guys in the chat. If you could, guys, it'd be very much appreciated if you could hit that like button. Today's stream is a bit of an experiment. First time I've done a 3:00 kickoff live stream, so that's why maybe the views are low. But it's just a bit of an experiment to see if 3:00 kickoffs are worth it. So if you could help the visibility of the channel, hit that like button. It'd be very much appreciated, and consider subscribing if you're new to the channel to give us a chance. But yeah, thanks for that, Stevie. That's a top one, that, mate. Aaron is saying, yeah, I really do, Stevie, but just with it being so dodgy, so dodgy in England. I'm worried about it. I'm hoping it works fine. Yeah, well, yeah, obviously there's going to be, there's going to be questionable decisions no matter what technology you bring into it, mate. I think there's always going to be people question marking how it's used, how it's um, how it's implemented, if the right referees are being put in place to use it, if it's cohesive with the referee on the pitch, stuff like that. So obviously, going to be a lot of question marks, a lot of debate, and definitely over the course of this season, I think we'll see a lot of debate around the VAR question in Scotland because it's only just being introduced. But yeah, we're seeing it in England, mate. Plenty of controversy with the way it's being used in England because we're seeing it used in some leagues and not other leagues. And as obviously as a Bolton fan, I can say definitely it would be helpful in League One because some of the referees' standards is shocking. But it's okay. My biggest gripe with this VAR, guys, is it's okay leave introducing VAR, but one of my biggest thing is with the VAR, with the referee standard, is the referee standards are not great. How can you introduce technology when the standards of refereeing is questionable to start with? So for me, that's one that's a big talking point for the future that we can maybe debate. Um, so Sheffield definitely pressing for the winner here, guys. And Norwich, they're the ones now looking a bit more fragile and nervous at the back and making their mistakes. And it's kind of backs to the wall a bit now for Norwich. Oh, an opportunity. He got. Oh, it's over the bar, straight over the bar. Good opportunity for Sheffield coming into the box. Definitely Sheffield United pressing to make something happen, and it's gone. And the players got the opportunity just inside the box, and he's blazed it straight over the bar. Stevie Allen, that's the thing. It can be really good if used correctly. Just think some refs take it too far. Yeah, absolutely. Some of these refs are on a power trip. I did. If you didn't see it, guys, I did a Liverpool video at the beginning of the week about referees on power trips. So yeah, go and check that out if you haven't seen it. Be appreciated. Callum G, hi mate. Hope you are well. Yes, I'm good, mate. Thank you very much. And thanks for dropping in. How are you, mate? Hope you are doing good. And let us know, Callum, if you are watching a game, mate, this afternoon. And if you are watching a game, what game you're watching and what's the score, that kind of thing. But yeah, thank you very much, Callum. Appreciate you coming, dropping in, mate, and share any thoughts or opinions you've got on today's football. If you like, mate, be very much appreciated you getting involved. Aaron Hart, oh, Man United v Chelsea lineups are out. All right, yeah, so yeah, big obviously there'll be the afternoon kickoff in the Premier Leagues, which is obviously yeah, Chelsea v Man United this afternoon, half past five kickoff. So that's going to be an interesting one, mate. What were you expecting, Aaron? Because that's a tricky one, that mate, away from home for Man United. Chelsea, obviously, um, very strong at home. So, are you expecting that to be a difficult game to get some points out of, if possible? But don't get me wrong, United are more than capable of getting some points out of that. But will they actually? If like I said, going to Chelsea is always difficult for any club, no matter who it is, because Chelsea normally very strong at home. But yeah, mate, is Ronaldo playing today? Because obviously, no, he's not playing, is he? Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting. Yeah, it said he's not playing. That's something else. Like I said, I'm in the middle of doing some. I'm in the middle of doing some prep work for a live stream for Manchester United. I've been trying to get it done all week, but because of um, obviously trying to intensify now what we do on the channel to get the channel growing faster. Obviously, I'm having to do some research to do with live streams, part, because part step by step, because I always have to also have to make the thumbnails and things like that. Just a lot of faff involved in making preparations for live streams, particularly if it's about specific talking points like the one that is going to be coming for the Man United, with regards to Man United. So I'm hoping to either get that research finished today or tomorrow, so that I can get that set up. Also, guys, there's a live stream. If you can see, there's a live stream scheduled for tomorrow on the channel. Like I said, we're trying to step up the intensity of what we're doing now with the channel to get the channel growing faster. So there's a live stream scheduled for tomorrow, which is the Aston Villa v Brentford game, 2 o'clock kickoff. So please do go and drop a like on that if you could, guys, because it'll help more people on YouTube see it before we actually do the live. And it'll also, if you're not too busy and you're available, do drop in tomorrow anytime after 2 o'clock to share your thoughts on any of this weekend's football, or obviously the game that we're live streaming as well. You are more than welcome. So, but yeah, guys, if you can drop like on this stream and the live stream schedule for tomorrow, that would be massively, massively appreciated. Like I say, trying to step up the intensity. So back to the comments. Aaron saying, yeah, I'm with with most refs in the SPFL being quite biased, quite biased, it's likely to not be great. But if the right people use it, it will improve the league a lot. Absolutely, mate. That's the key in it. That's the key, Aaron. It's making sure the right people are put in place to actually use the VAR, and hopefully they will. Let's hope. All I'm saying, I'm not expecting, from my point of view, looking at it being introduced in Scotland, I'm not expecting it to be perfect. But what I am expecting is that it's going to reduce the bias that fans in Scotland have identified and regularly complain about, and that hopefully it helps a little bit even things out on the pitch, so that there is no, so that we stop having this question mark of if referees are favouring certain teams in Scotland. We don't need that. So yeah, hopefully it will make some improvement, mate, but I'm not expecting it to be perfect. But I am hopeful that it will definitely make some improvement to the standard of refereeing. But only time will tell. And like I say, at the minute, we're very much in the honeymoon period with it, aren't we? So yeah, but thanks for that, Aaron, mate. Appreciated. Stephen Allen saying, fingers crossed for you, mate. Absolutely. Absolutely. Aaron, cheers, Stevie, mate. Just depends with the refs. It's been good so far. Like I say, yeah, absolutely, mate. We have to give it a bit of the honeymoon period. It's gonna. I mean, what is this? It's only been 2-3 weeks that they've been experimenting with it. Couple of weeks. It's not much. Not even a month yet. So there's still probably referees that haven't even used it yet. Actually, in match game scenario. So. I would say we need to just, this month, next month, give that as the honeymoon period. And then obviously after that, then we can start to judge how they're getting on with it. Whether it's being used right, whether it's being used efficiently, stuff like that. But yeah, I just think, to be fair, football fans, and we want to give criticism where it's needed. But to be fair, we got a penalty, guys. Norwich City, I've got a penalty. I'll come back to your comment in a minute, mate. Just Norwich, penalty for Norwich. 85 minutes gone. So it looks like Sheffield's hard work trying to getting back into this game in the second half could all be undone with this penalty. That was just outside the box. So there's a tackle just outside the box that didn't get a penalty. Literally on the edge of the box. Looks like the Norwich player were looking for that and all, because the way he's rolled over. And now the second one I couldn't see because it happened so quick after the first tackle. But the referee's given the penalty based on the second tackle, which was in the box. Unfortunately, I can't comment on it whether it was right or not, because there were two incidents, guys, that happened there in quick succession. And I only got to see enough of the first one. And the first one definitely wasn't a penalty, because it looked like the Norwich player were looking for it, as I say. The second one happened so quick after the first that I didn't see enough of it to judge it, to be fair. And I'm just being honest with you guys. So I don't want to pass judgment on something I haven't seen enough of. But yeah, Norwich in a position now to take the lead and grab potentially the winning goal. Um, so just lining up for the penalty now, guys. Like I said, I'll come back to your comments in a moment. Just let's see how this penalty goes. Oh, and it's saved by the keeper. Saved by the keeper, so it's still 2-2, guys. And that was a pretty placid penalty, to be fair. He should have just whacked it hard, and it might have, but yeah, he tried slotting it in on the right hand side, and not put enough power behind the ball, and the goalkeeper has got to it and saved it. So yeah, handed on a plate for Norwich. Just going to watch this penalty again because I'm obviously very keen to see this. Yeah, no, that's a good save from the keeper. It looks like, yeah, the keeper stayed on his line. I'm picking up on that, guys, because I'm going to be picking up on that rule very much on penalties this season because we're having some controversy with that as far as I'm concerned. You've got some referees implementing that not leave for the goalkeeper to not leave his line. We've got some referees enforcing that ruthlessly, and some referees being relaxed about it. So we have an imbalance with how that rule is being used, and it's up to the FA to make sure that all referees are using it fairly and equally in the same way, so that there is no discrepancies about how it's being used. You can see I did a short last night, guys, with regards to that for the game in the championship involving. No, sorry, it was League One. Sorry, I had to think about that game, guys. Sorry, it was League One last night. Ipswich v Derby County. It completely went out of my head there. So yeah, like I say, guys, some controversy with how that rule's been. I think so. Like I said, I think some refs are enforcing it ruthlessly and not giving an inch, and then some refs are being a bit more relaxed about it. So depending on what referee you've got, depends on whether he's going to enforce this when goalkeepers are not allowed to leave their line during a penalty. We cannot have that inconsistency. We need it clear and concise, right? I mean, I don't agree with the goalkeepers not being able to leave the line anyway. I would prefer to give goalkeepers a little bit of room to move off the line. But like I say, the FA in their infinite wisdom have decided that, or the EFL have decided that's a rule that they need to stick to. That's fine. If you're going to do that, if you're going to enforce it, make sure referees are enforcing it equally and fairly across the board against every club. So yeah, sorry if I'm rambling on about that. I just wanted to highlight the specifics of what I meant. But yeah, that penalty, nothing wrong with it. Goalkeeper stayed on his line, and a wasted opportunity really from a Norwich point of view. Steve, sorry guys, just bear me a second. I've got to wet my mouth going through these live streams. Oh, damn. Oh, that's better. You don't realise talking for nearly 2 hours how dry it gets your throat. So yeah, but yeah, apologies about that, guys. Just something like I said, I've gone over the stream without having a drink. That was needed. Stephen Allen saying, hopefully with VAR being used, some of the biased refs won't be able to get away with certain things. Well, absolutely, that's what we're looking for. It's cut it out. And now we've got another. Sorry, guys, to keep interrupting, but we're getting to the last stages now, and we've got another issue with the ball coming in, goalkeeper being knocked off his feet, and I think the referees being in this game today. Referees been very lenient with what's going on in the box. There's been a couple of penalty shouts. That potentially could be a shout for a foul on the goalkeeper, and the referee has been letting things slide as far as stuff like that. He's not been um, ruthlessly enforcing the rules in the box. So we'd like to see that to a certain extent. Obviously, if a foul's a foul and a penalty's a penalty, we want to see it given if it's correct. But at the same time, we don't want referees giving every little niggly thing and stopping the game from flowing because there is when you got two teams attacking each other as much as this, you are going to have incidents in the box that are not necessarily fouls and not necessarily things that the referee needs to react to. But like I say, with the intensity of this game end to end, you are going to have issues that come about that the referee will need to give his attention and make the right, correct decision. But yeah, absolutely, Stevie. Hopefully, with VAR being used, some of the biased ref, yeah. Hopefully, the biased refs get phased out. Hopefully, it starts to identify their bias, and to the point where the SPFL have to react to it and get these referees out if the VAR exposes them. But to be fair, we've seen VAR expose referees down in England, and it's just getting brushed away. But yeah, thanks for that, Stevie. Appreciate that, mate. Appreciate you sharing your thoughts. Aaron is saying, "Yeah, I hope, I hope so, mate. Oh, sorry. I hope some, so most of them just give the decision to the old firm. I hope they won't get away with it. Never know. Well, like I say, hopefully we'll see that get cut down, mate. We'll see that bias get minimised at least. Let's hope that's exactly what happens. That it starts to be reduced because that's the minimum we can ask for, or that's the minimum we should be expecting right now. Opportunity for Sheffield in the box. Couple of shots, but blocked by Norwich. 3 minutes into the last added on time, guys. And it looks like it's going to finish 2-2. But yeah, I have to give credit to Sheffield. They've not give up. They've kept plugging away, trying to find a winner. They got themselves from 2-0 down. And like I say, Norwich have been disappointing in the second half. They've been very disappointing compared to how well they played in the first half. You've got to be saying that they've been very disappointing in the second half. So yeah, like I say, Norwich. Sheffield definitely deserving of being on level terms, and some fans might argue watching this that they deserve to be in the lead. To be fair, but obviously football's all about opinions. But we saw a 4.5 minutes, guys. I'm not sure exactly how much time was added on, but yeah, 4.5 minutes and another opportunity missed from Sheffield, and they're on the attack again. But he's knocked out by Norwich defender for a throw-in. So yeah, 6 minutes. Was added on, I think. So just got 2 minutes added time to play. Another opportunity missed from Sheffield, crossed into the box. From the throw-in, started from the throw-in and then crossed into the box. And the Sheffield players managed to get his head on it, but he's headed it wide. Yeah, McBurney, I think he's called, the Sheffield United striker. Sorry, Aaron is saying, no, 80. No, no, 84th minute, 2-1 St Mirren. Oh, that's disappointing, mate. That's disappointing. Not to worry, mate. Hopefully, Man United get a positive result. See you later, mate. Excuse me. Sorry, guys, for the yawning. Yeah, sorry. Hopefully, Man United get you a positive result later on, mate, in a later kickoff. Aaron's saying, yeah, mate. Ronaldo got suspended for walking out earlier vs Spurs. Like I said, we'll be getting to United soon, mate. I've got a live stream that I'm working on at the minute. I'm just doing a bit of prep for it because I wanted to cover all the bases. But look out for it, mate. I'm going to be putting a live stream on because it's definitely coming because I've done quite a bit of research in preparation for it. So there'll be a live stream in the next day or two. Not sure exactly when because, like I said, I've not had time to finish the research yet. And that's what holds up doing live stream debates. because that will be on a live stream, so you'll be able to share your opinion, mate. But it won't be a match watch along live stream. It'll be a debate live stream. So yeah, like I said, mate, look out for that. I'll be listing it hopefully in the next day or two to get that plan. It's all that's holding me up is finishing the research, but obviously trying to do 6 different things to do with Fanden makes it difficult for me to find the time for the research to do it consistently sometimes. So it's finished 2-2, guys. Full-time whistle's gone. It's finished Sheffield United 2, Norwich 2. To be fair, well deserved point from Sheffield because they never gave up. They made mistakes in the first half. They looked shaky at the back in the first half, but they got their act together in the second half. They levelled it. They pulled one back before levelling it to 2-2. They had the better of the opportunities, I would have said, in the second half. So arguably, deservedly, showed more endeavour to try and win the game. Missed opportunity from Norwich after having a good first half from Norwich. Missed opportunity. Missed opportunity from Norwich with a goal, with a penalty. Sorry, in the late in the second half, which could have given them the lead. But like I say, it's probably a fair result overall, finishing 2-2. So, guys, I'll come to the comments in a minute. I just want to let's quickly just go over all the results around the UK, and then we can I can react to your comments. So, if you got any interesting to say about this afternoon's games, drop your comments in to the chat, and I will come to the comments and what you guys have got to say in a couple of minutes. Just like I said, let's just quickly have a rough look. Let's quickly have a look over the full time what scores throughout the UK. So we start with the Premier League, guys. As I said, dinner time kickoff finished Norwich. Finished Nottingham Forest 1, Liverpool 0. Big upset there in the Premier League. Everton finally found a way to win, winning 3-0 against Crystal Palace. So that's a full-time result. Man City, obviously, 3-1 winners over Brighton at home. Man City. Obviously, I would love to see more teams. I've nothing against Manchester City, but I do not want to see the same club keep winning the league year in, year out. So I'm hoping that more teams start to figure out how to take points off Manchester City. And hopefully City will have some success in Europe this year because that's what they're not achieving up so far. So on to the English Championship. The early dinner time kickoff finished 4-0, 4-2. Sorry, to Blackpool. That was a derby. Blackpool v Preston. Full time for the 3 o'clock kickoff. Sunderland 2, Burnley 4. So Burnley turned that round after Sunderland. I'm sure Sunderland were winning that at one point. So yeah, Burnley 4-0, 4-2 winners away from home. Middlesbrough 0, Huddersfield 0. Obviously, Sheffield United, the game we've just done, and Norwich finishing 2-2. Rotherham 2, Hull City 4. So Hull getting another win. That game not quite finished yet. I think it's just finished. So another improved performance for Hull and getting another 3 points after some poor results. Stoke City 0, Coventry 2. So another 3 points for Coventry will pull them definitely away from the bottom of the table, and obviously give the Coventry fans some relief. Millwall 2, West Brom 1. Still playing there by the looks of it. Reading 2, Bristol City 0. Blackburn Rovers 2, Birmingham 1. QPR 2, and Wigan Athletic 1. So that's the full-time scores in the 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Championship. In League One, we have the early kickoff, which finished 1-1 with Lincoln and Sheffield Wednesday. 3 o'clock kickoff, still just playing Cambridge United, Port Vale winning that 1-0. Full-time results for 3 o'clock kickoff: Bristol Rovers 2, Plymouth Argyle 2. So that finished that Bristol Rovers levelling that after Plymouth being in the lead. Morecambe 2, Barnsley 0. Forest Green 0, Portsmouth 1. So a big win away from home for Portsmouth. A tricky game. Oxford United 1, Peterborough 2. Shrewsbury 0. Charlton 1. Exeter 2. Fleetwood 1. Accrington 2 and Bolton 3. So I'm pretty chuffed about that because Bolton was losing that game and they pulled it back to win 3-2. So awesome from my club. Burton 1, Cheltenham 0, MK Dons 0, Wickham 1. In League Two, Stevenage 2, Northampton 3, Grimsby 0, Bristol City 0, Crewe Alexander 1, Doncaster 1, Harrogate Town 1, Tranmere 1, Carlisle 2, Leyton Orient 3, Gillingham 1, Barrow 1, Salford City 0, Stockport 2, Newport County 1, Colchester 0, Rochdale 1, Wimbledon 2, Swindon Town 2, Hartlepool 1, Crawley Town 3, Mansfield Town 2, Sutton United 1, Walsall 1. And a quick look over champions, Scottish Premiership and Scottish Championship. It's finished in the earlier kickoff, Hearts 3, Celtic 4. 3 o'clock kickoffs, Kilmarnock 1, Ross County 0, Motherwell 1, Aberdeen 2, Rangers 1. So Rangers from a losing position, pulling it back to 1-1 with Livingston. Unfortunate for Livingston because that would have been a big game, but it looks like some other stuff gone on in that game because Livingston had a man sent off, so it's finished 1-1. But I'm sure Livingston disappointed to not win the game, but after being in a winning position. But at least they come away from Ibrox with something rather than nothing. And the other 3 o'clock kickoff is St Mirren 2, Dundee United 1. Obviously, Aaron disappointed with that one, mate. In the Scottish Championship, it's finished at Inverness 1, Wraith Rovers 1, Dundee 0, Greenock Morton 0, Arbroath 1, Hamilton 0, Ayr United 2, Cove Rangers 2, and Partick Thistle 0, Queen's Park 4. So that's a roundup of all the games across the UK, guys. Apologies for that. Just wanted to bring you up to date with all that. And now let's see what you guys have got to say in the comments. Like I said, please do hit that like button if you don't mind. It would be appreciated. Aaron is saying, yeah, mate. Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. You commented on the Ronaldo thing. But yeah, mate, like I said, hopefully United will get you a positive result late in the late tea time kickoff. Stephen Allen. Old Bolton winning, guys, 3-2. Absolutely, mate. Just seen it as I read through the results. So massive 3 points there for Bolton, especially considering they was in a losing position in that game at one point. So really, really chuffed to see my club get the 3 points on the board, which is awesome. So yeah, definitely buzzing about that, Stevie. Thanks for that, mate. Stephen Allen, yeah, I agree, Aaron. By the sound of it, they have gotten away with it for too long. Yeah, mate. Like I say, we'll hopefully see an improvement in the SPFL referee standards with the introduction of VAR. Aaron Hart is saying, "Yeah, mate. The referees have been awful for years. Hopefully, it puts a stop to there's too much stop and start in the league." Well, like I said, mate, hopefully we see a great improvement with the VAR contributing to a fairer standard of refereeing in the SPFL. Aaron Hart, match end 2-1 at St Mirren, fuming. Yeah, mate, I'm sure you're disappointed because obviously Dundee United struggling at the minute, and it would be good to see you guys obviously get some points on the board because I'm sure I'm not speaking out of turn here, mate, but you are better than what your team is showing at the minute on the pitch. Dundee, I'm no expert on Scottish football, but I consider Dundee United, a competitive club and a decent club with a decent sized fan base that should be in the Scottish Premiership competing. Maybe not at the top, but at least competing mid-table and around the UEFA Cup spaces. But to be fair, you guys are still quite new to the Premiership. This is only, the third or fourth season in it. So still, obviously, players within your team that are inexperienced in this league and still need more experience. And obviously, I'm sure the club looking to invest to improve the squad if possible. Um, but yeah, like I said, mate, hopefully Man United get you a positive result. But yeah, final thoughts, guys, on today's game with regards to Sheffield and Norwich. Like I say, good first half from Norwich. Sheffield looked at six. Sheffield United looked at 6 and 7s at the back in the first half. Um, which is kind of how Norwich got themselves in a 2-0 lead. But at halftime, uh, uh, as we approached halftime, Sheffield started to create more opportunities, looked like they were slightly improving. They massively improved in the second half defensively, and Norwich seemed to struggle to get possession as much as they had in the first half. They did much better in the second half in respect of from a Sheffield United point of view and made life more difficult for Norwich. Um, Norwich probably kicked themselves from letting 2 points drop from a winning position. But you cannot come out and have a good first half and then not recognise when you're away from home that the home team is going to come out with more intensity in the second half and have a right go at you. And that's what caught Norwich out today in that game because they didn't show the respect that they needed to, um, as far as I'm concerned, in respect of matching the intensity and the desire that Sheffield showed in that second half. Sheffield really, really looked good in the second half. It needs to be said they deserved something out of the game, and arguably some fans might even argue they deserved to win the game. Obviously, it could have gone either way with the penalty that Norwich missed in the second half, so it could have gone either way. But like I say, overall, I would say that 2-2 draw is probably just about fair. Like I say, it seems to go with this a lot of games where you have one team having the best of the first half and the other team having the best of the second half. And it was that kind of game with Norwich, like I say, looking more organised and more formidable in the first half. Um, but like I say, in fairness, Sheffield got their act together and they showed more endeavour, more commitment, more team togetherness, and more desire as the game wore on, and they deservedly got a point out of the game. And like I say, from my point of view, I think it was definitely well deserved that they got something out of the game because they showed more tenacity and more ambition in the second half. Norwich, like I say, they could have got the winner with a penalty award, but they wasted the opportunity themselves. In fairness, guys, because for me, the Sheffield striker or player, whichever was that took the penalty, he took it too slow. He should have took it quicker. He gave the opportunity for the goalkeeper to save it, and the goalkeeper did save it. Made a cracking save, no question marks whether he was off the line or anything like that. He was on his line, stayed on his line, and just made a very good save to keep Sheffield in it and get a much deserved point for his team. So that's about it for me, guys, today. Please do consider hitting that like button. It'd be very much appreciated. We have a live stream also scheduled for tomorrow for Aston Villa v Brentford. Obviously, that's a big game. First game for Aston Villa without Steven Gerrard in charge. So if you could go and drop a like on that, it would definitely be helpful, guys, because it helps more people on YouTube see what we've got up and coming if there is a few likes on there to help with the visibility. So yeah, it'd be very much appreciated if you could go and hit that with a like. And like I say, guys, uh, hopefully that tomorrow's live stream will be a bit better activity wise from fans getting involved than this one. But we got, like I say, guys, today's live. Not the best time to do it. Obviously, 3 o'clock doesn't appear that way, but we've got to do a couple of these to experiment for me to get some answers. When is the best time to do any kind of live streams on a Saturday? So, guys, thank you very much for the comments and getting involved. Really appreciated. Massive shout out to Stevie Allen, moderator. Really appreciate all the work you do in the background, mate. And a massive shout out to Aaron Hart, who yet again has showed amazing support, very enthusiastic about the Fandom project, and always looking to show support when he can. And it's really, really appreciated. Like I said, mate, it doesn't go unnoticed. So hopefully Your support encourages me to keep going to get the fandom community improving and growing. For fans like you that are embracing what I'm trying to do, and I really do appreciate it, mate. So massive thank you to you. Um, just read out Aaron's final comment, and then we'll call it a day for this stream. I'll be in the stream tomorrow. See you, these guys, mate. Looking forward to it. Catch up with you later, mate. Thank you very much. Massive, massive thanks, mate. Really appreciate it. And like I say, yeah, hopefully tomorrow's stream might be a bit more active than this one. But like I say, please understand, guys, that some of these streams are about experimenting as well. So that's it from me, guys. Appreciate all your positive comments and getting involved. If you're new to the channel, like I say, please consider giving dropping a sub and giving us a chance. See if you like what we're about. And like I say, very much appreciated if you could hit that like button. Okay, guys, that's it from me for today. Thanks a lot, and hopefully I will see you on future streams. Take care and stay safe out there, guys. Bye for now.